What's going on, you guys? It is the Flow Show. You know what it is. For the love of wrestling. Quincy Jones, Go, Brian Andrew, the Wave God in the building himself, Mac Lowe.
I'm the Wave God. Oh,
the Wave God. Oh, yeah.
I thought you were saying I was the Wave God. Brian Andrew, the Wave God.
He's like, sure. Yeah, sure. And then that makes you the Lord.
I wore some shirts with some waves on them before, so
you know what I'm saying. I mean, you look like you catch some waves with that shirt on. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm going with it. But guys, I'm
afraid of the ocean though. So,
dude, fuck the ocean, dude. See, I was talking to someone, dude. Like, okay, so I really opened up to my barber the other day. We were talking about like the ocean, right? I was like, yeah, I was just talking to my homie. I'm like, yeah, I don't fuck with the ocean like that. You know, there's somebody like that's my like to be lost at sea. I'm like, fuck this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even want to think about the like.
Hell no.
They ain't gonna find me, you know what I'm saying? But then like it started morphing into like, yeah, I think the aliens is living down there. I was like, what?
Oh.
You know, yeah, it was a whole kind. I was like, man, you just opened up a whole Pandora's box of stuff because I was like, oh, we talking ghosts now? What we talking? We talking supernatural? What's up? But he was cool. You know, he was all right. But yeah, it was just funny because I was remembering the ocean conversation. I was like, yeah, we don't fuck with the ocean, dude. Like it's we don't even know what's in the ocean. We're not even like naturally like able to figure out. We can't even get to the bottom of that shit, bro.
Anytime scientists are still like, oh shit, what's that?
There's new things showing up. Yeah.
No, you don't.
New, like how are we extinct? Things are going extinct, but we got new things popping up. Like, what is going on, man?
I guess new animal drops every week, like Jordan's.
Word, dude. I just got the drop email from Goat. Like it was the new Jordans just dropped. Yeah, I got that. Got the unknown unknowns, you know what I mean? But yeah,
new albino glow in the dark sea urchin.
Yeah, hey, those would be fly though. You know, all of a sudden Kanye is like, nah, I gotta get some. I gotta walk myself back this episode, guys. So you know, we had a big conversation last week about Mark Henry, but yeah, I got this quote here where he's talking about Hulk Hogan. I'm like, oh no, don't do it, Mark.
What he said.
He said, this is what he said, man.
In my Ice Cube voice.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna tell him, Craig. I'm gonna tell him. He said, I'll stand right there next to him, and as long as he owns it and is truly sorry for what he has done, and he says it's not gonna go away. It don't matter how long you wait. I just pray that before he meets the maker, that he's able to able to repent for that and get everybody to say, you know what? Hulk Hogan had a hard time. He made mistakes, but man, he fixed it. We all have to be forgiven at some point to be forgiven, you have to be remorseful and feel pain for what you did. So, yeah.
So okay,
that face. He lost me at a certain point. I was like, okay, where you going with this, Mark? I'm like, Hulk Hogan ain't having it hard, bro. What are you talking about?
You guys might not know this, but I'm white. So
what?
I know.
But the waves, though. But the waves, though.
Breaking news.
Shock fest.
So I'm sure some white people are out there like, hey, you know, forgive him, right? But I'm not one of those people, and he's never going to be Hulk Hogan to me, right? He's always going to be the guy who said a bunch of shit on the phone or was recorded saying a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Right. And no matter what, when I see him on the screen, that's who he is to me now. And then when I see him next to Titus O'Neil, I'm like, hey, Titus O'Neil has every right to punch him in the face right now and get fired over it. But no one would look at Titus O'Neil negatively, right?
No.
So
no. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they may take away some of his outside wrestling accomplishments. Like, oh, we can't have someone that punches Hulk Hogan, the king of Tampa, representing our company. You know what I mean?
Dad of the year over here.
They might start stripping him of some stuff.
In my neighborhood, he'd be a legend.
I was gonna say, hey, come around here, come to the Flow show. He'll get the Flow Medal of Honor. You know what I'm saying? That's a non-question.
Come tell the kids what happened.
That's what we call a shoe-in right there, for sure. If that was the case, but yeah, I don't know. Like the Hogan thing. Like I'm just like the reason why I can't give him no reprieve, no break from that shit is because, you know, surprise guys, I'm black. Shocker.
Hold on. All right. What?
We're breaking news here. But if I can't help but have to bring in this narrative, if the person who did the same thing he did was black, and that, you know, all the roles were reversed, he would never run away from this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
People would never not give him a hard time for this shit. So that's why it's like one of those things where also he's played the game so long where it's like the game finally caught up to you, bro. And you got to accept that. You got to take that L and not be a big baby just because you can't walk in certain places and people respect you the same. Dude, you did what you did. You know what I'm saying? That's like, bro, like also, Aaron Hernandez gets released early. Never. He's gonna walk out. People, he gonna get, man, nobody fucking with me like that. Cause you killed somebody, bro. Because you still did that. Even at the end of the day, you could be sorry for what you did. You still did that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
it's a situation where
it's a jump. I know it's a jump, but you know what I'm saying?
He never showed remorse for what happened. And he
exactly.
I think that's the biggest thing.
And he continues to try to act like that's not what it was. Like, remember, I think it was it this past WrestleMania when he was like, yeah, all the guys in the back are treating me weird.
Give me that cold shoulder.
And he was like, I'm not here to take anybody's spotlight or to,
that's not what it is, Terry.
Like, bro, first of all, nobody's here to see you, dog. You think you really finna steal a spotlight from somebody?
Bruh.
Second of all, that's not what it is at all. But you won't even admit what you know it is. Because you just keep trying
bro,
to
like, yeah, it's just like, and just pure Hogan fashion, he's gonna do it in the sense of, I'm gonna say it not even just to myself, but I'm gonna go to a publication and get this on record with how I feel. So now I'm spinning this as another story to keep my name in the news. It's like, oh, they're intimidated by an old man. Like, no, ain't nobody intimidated by you, Terry. Like,
bro.
It's like it's just one of those things at the end. Like, for me, like you said, like, he's been more. He's shown more emotion over the fact that he's like more torn up, I should say, over the fact that he's not getting, like, man, like I said, he walks into a room and people are shying away from me. Like, I'm
if he tried to apologize, I think that's the thing. Like, he didn't. So I think, for example, it's one of those things where if he tried to apologize, more people would be like, okay. But since he didn't, everyone's like, no, you're still a piece of shit.
Yeah, there's still nothing to like hang, like, even a little bit of credit. There's nothing to give. Like, and
I don't know if you were on this episode when we did this, Mac, but we fancy booked the Hurt Business to beat the shit out of Hulk Hogan on Legends Night.
Yes, I remember.
Okay.
Like,
to me, we're over here trying to help Hulk Hogan, if anything.
Yeah,
we're trying to say, hey, because we're trying to put you back over with the fans.
Because to be honest, it's like, when you think about it, like, it is like just an ass whipping away from it being okay.
Yeah, just stomping.
You know what I'm saying? It's just a pun. It's just like a whooping. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to get the whooping. Like,
but I need a real legitimate stomp out.
And I would really feel better about it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like you said, if even because the apology was like this, unspoken one that WWE accepted, quote unquote, as the report says. I'm just like, from when, and who's the witness? Was there a stenographer there?
Jay-Z said, "We don't believe you.
We need more people." Man, for real.
Just because Dolph Ziggler accepted the apology doesn't mean it's okay.
That dirty dog, like, fucking A, dude. I'm pretty sure
Dolph Ziggler, that seems okay to me. I don't know.
He's like, I mean, it didn't really affect me much, but
Ziggler and
I'm like, okay, so you just want to
and Riker said it was cool.
Oh, Riker, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Riker's like, I don't know why everyone's so upset. I don't understand. I mean, is there something going on? I mean, America's sweet to me. He's apologizing. He's saying, make sure there's no recording devices when you say stuff. And this is what do you guys want to hear?
Or make sure that at the recording devices that are on you can hear you say clearly that you feel like shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, even just the fact that there's been, like you said, there was no effort given to even try to rectify that. It's like he just pretty much let the courts like deal with everything, with all the other shit with love, like the love sponge and the sex tape and all that shit with Gawker. And I don't even know how I'm fucking remembering this shit. Goddamn. I think it was because I was like low key like, yes.
So let me ask you guys this question: do you think, like, it's one thing for
you gotta die?
It's one thing for the New Day and maybe Cedric Alexander to be like, we don't accept the apology, because they don't have a personal probably relationship with Hulk Hogan. They're a different generation of superstars. Whereas Mark Henry's worked with Hulk Hogan, or at least been in the same locker room.
Oh, you think he's like trying to be like that bridge sort of to try to?
So yeah, there's like, is it with it coming from Mark Henry? Do you interpret it differently? Or is it still like, no matter what, it doesn't matter if you're Mark Henry, Booker T, it doesn't matter if you're Cedric Alexander.
Yeah, because Booker T, I heard
you should all have the same opinion on this.
I think Booker T had a difference of opinion as well. I don't remember.
Because I thought I remember Mark Henry was disappointed in the apology when it first came out too.
Yeah, he was holding them up to like basically like, well, don't just say it, like walk it. Basically, you know what I mean? Like you need to be showing people that you about that shit instead of just saying it just to say it. That was overall what it was, and I'm like, yeah, for sure. But can we all say that we've seen him do this stuff? No. I mean, like, no. It's like one of those things. I'm like, I mean, me being petty, it's like, you know what? Until you say sorry, Big E's just gonna drop everybody with the atomic leg drop. It's his now. You can't get it back.
Also, this might be a separate subject, but why is Booker T and Mark Henry like the spokesman for the Black community of wrestling all the time?
Tell me you didn't just say that. No,
why do we always lean? Are they cool with this? Because a lot of times, if we keep it funky, they be like playing it safe, not trying to push.
Because you got to understand, like, one Rocky vote the rocks is going to tumble all the way down. You know what I'm saying? Man. I mean, me personally, I look to rest in peace. My personal favorite as a youngin for the Black vote, that would be New Jack.
No. Rest in peace to New Jack.
No, but rest in peace to New Jack, man.
Rest in peace. Baca should be on the show, because I think
I know.
Baca was trying to get him to get on the show for a while.
He be smiling right now. He was like,
man, I love something. He would say something stupid. Maybe it's best he's not here.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. I mean,
he wants to give credit for his career or something.
Yeah. Right. This is a guy that was like not trying to allow us to mourn for Luke Harper, because he was just like, he's a jobber. I was like, oh, bro.
Damn. Yeah.
Remember he said
I even like that he gave it the Baca accent too.
Yeah.
He's a jobber.
I'm like, oh, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. You need to run that back, bro.
Damn it, man.
But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, just take the ass whooping, call it a day. That's all I got as far as all that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And
I don't
by
know.
the way, the Vince McMahon, I think, like, do you think just white people were showing up to WrestleMania? Like, why did he even have Hulk Hogan out there for the first appearance?
He was like, for whatever reason, Vince is like, I haven't had people at any event for the entire year. I couldn't even have him at WrestleMania, and we're finally going to be able to have him at WrestleMania. But how do I get these ticket sales up? Oh, it's going to be in Tampa, so let me get Tampa's own Hulk. No, niggas is going to buy tickets, bro. They're waiting all year for a place to go. People are flying into Tampa to go. What are you talking about? Like, you don't need Hogan as a
nobody wants to see Hulk.
It's
bro,
not
listen,
no, dude.
Listen, if you never, and The Rock means ever, put Terry on anything else again, there's not going to be a tick that shows this is where they stop utilizing Hulk Hogan. Like, the stats will never show that this is where they stop using. Yeah, nobody cares, dog.
Like, unfortunately for me, the image, I guess in a good way, of Hogan in a dumbass pirate hat is kind of burned in my head because it makes me laugh. But
I was eating hot wings when that segment was going on. I was chilling.
But what I didn't like is when they first showed up together, him and Titus. And I told Doc, I'm like, what does he think? This is Mr. T out here? He's like, what do you say, T? I'm like, oh, don't call him T. Like, y'all ain't boys like that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Don't give me a nickname.
Like, Hulk Hogan didn't have to be racist for him to be irrelevant too.
Like, so it's like you're on the edge of nostalgia, but reminding us why we kept you away. What are you doing? Where's the Sandman when you need him? Get this dude off the stage, bro.
Nobody want to hear that Nobody want to hear that cartoony promo. You know what I'm saying? It's the same joint every time. Nobody want to hear that. And anything that you bring to the table, honestly,
it ain't worth the look, bro.
There's no kids. We're the kids, right?
Yeah.
We're the kids.
Like he's as worthy as we deem him now at this point.
Yes, there's no children that are watching that need to see him. If they want to get that demographic, like the little kids, then they'll trot John Cena out there in a lime green shirt, and he can give you the exact same vibe. we're good, bro.
Even with the satellite, just get John Cena on the satellite.
I mean,
put him in the vault with the Animaniacs, bro. We're good.
Yo, I love that.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Love that reference.
Even that sounds racist. Let me tell you something, brother. Take your vitamins and make sure all the recordings are turned off.
Dude, but it's funny because when you talk about like when you were asking about like if Mark Henry's kind of like that, you know, that in between to help kind of help better, you know what I mean, mediate between like, you know, the younger crowd. I'm like, I can't just in my head the image of like, hey Mark, so how the little homie acts? I mean, Hulkamaniacs.
The little homie
homie maniacs. I'm like, wait, see, he's like, see, Hulk, that's the shit that got you in trouble, man. I can't be out here with this bullshit, hey, man.
And you guys, maybe you know the answer to this, and I'm going to bring up something controversial here. So we all know the infamous.
That's the show. That's the show, baby. Let's go.
Let me ask you something. We all know the infamous Booker T, Vince McMahon promo backstage, right? Do you think that was approved? Was that approved with Booker T beforehand? And he just had to be like, "Yeah, let's rock with that."
He claims so because
they approved it.
I mean, it was something that they came to him about, and that's the thing. Like that's why I don't be rocking with like Booker T full, you know what I'm saying? Because he be like, you know, I seen the entertainment in it. I'm like, we don't.
No.
You know what I mean? Like
as soon as they said, hey, what if we say, he should have been like, no.
Yeah, Harlem Heat.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Like no, what the fuck? Like, no.
And I mean,
or Kevin Dunn should have been like, we've done a lot of stuff here.
I mean, I feel like they were all at Vince's pool. They're like, I bet you I can get him to say, like, you know what I mean? Like, or Vince, what if you said it? What if I said it? That sounds like a great idea. Yeah, it was your idea, Vince. It was my idea. Like, I don't.
That's so stupid.
Because it was no reason to do it. It was. I mean, like, dude, like, I expected that in like maybe the Attitude Era, but this was past the Attitude Era when they dropped that shit. Because Booker T was in there. I was like, come on, man.
Well, let me ask you this though, and this is I'm going to begin to sound like Baca. It's probably one of the most infamous. It's one of the most infamous things that we remember in that era of wrestling. Though.
Now,
also, like we look back on it and be like, NBC shouldn't have that on their network.
But here's the thing: a lot of the other stuff that is controversial, if you look back at it, it had a whole like story going on. It was a part of a bigger picture. And so if there was something distasteful in the middle of a whole grand scheme of something, then fine. But if you take that out, we're not missing anything. It didn't push nobody's storyline forward. It wasn't necessary. Like it was literally just, I'm white. I want a reason to say this shit and try to get away with it.
That's why I mean, because he had the do-rag on too, didn't he? Is this
well, he didn't have it during not during that promo, right? He didn't have it on during that promo, but he's had it.
Did. I think he did. I think he did.
No, you're right. No, you're right, Brian. Because he would just, that's what it was. He was passing through and saw John Cena. And he was like, what's going on, champ? And he was like, everything's all good in the hood. And he's being like some white, you know, old white person. You know, I don't want to disrespect Brian, sorry. But he like freaking like bumped.
First of all, white people have earned some disrespect for a lot.
I'm not trying to say you're the end all be all and you represent them all, but you know, I don't want to put that kind of pressure on you. But yeah,
sometimes I watch the news and I'm just like, man, it sucks.
He's like, this is why I just say that's why I just say I'm black. It's like, this is why I got these waves, man. I gotta blend in. This is bullshit.
So I gotta become the wave god, you know.
It's like it's a camouflage, if you feel, you know what I mean? But I'll let you know. We all got your back in the race war, man. It's all good.
No, I appreciate it.
I'm like, oh yeah, we're picking teams. Like, oh,
I don't think I'll be on the white side anytime soon. So hopefully you guys let me just hang out with you guys.
You hear that, Riker? You got one less. I'm sorry. But you know what? I'm gonna move on a little bit because we can talk Hogan forever.
But, you got enough attention, bro.
You know, how y'all feel about this news about Zelina Vega supposedly coming back? You hear about this?
I'm with it. I mean, a
lot of people, you know, it's funny because everyone's like, first of all, it's not your feature, so shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? But everyone else is just like, really? After all that, after being on your soapbox about, you know what I mean? You're like, you're really just gonna come back? I'm like, I mean, if the money's right, I don't understand why not. Like, you're not paying her bills, like, and I'm sure her bills need to get paid since she's not working right now. Like,
and her husband works for the company. It probably makes things a lot easier.
I was thinking that as well. Like, it just makes more sense because he's already there. You know what I mean? But the full story of it says she was seen at the Performance Center. A lot of people thought maybe she was there to film something, but it said like, she was filmed walking into the Performance Center with Simone Johnson, the Rock's daughter, the Pebble. No, I remember we did an episode on KJS, so we called it the Pebble, and she actually liked it because she had a quote about how she did not want to be the Pebble, doesn't want any Rock related freaking.
I got some bad news for you. The only thing you got going for you right now is that you're the Rock's daughter.
Yeah. It's like, well,
I apologize.
What about
unless you're gonna do the best damn Irish whip I've ever seen in my life?
Imagine she takes it back and just hits the shoulder breaker, the Rocky Maivia special, and just totally we'll call it the Stone, and like, nope, can't do it.
The Stone bottom.
It says they weren't told if this
her name's gonna be Quarry.
Yeah, I like that. There we go. We talking caveman shit right now. It said they weren't sure if it was like supplemental footage or if there was a plan behind it specifically, but they were also informed that Zelina's return has been in the works for a while. So, but I mean, I'm not against it. I kind of wanted. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I really wanted to see her in Andrade potentially hook back up in the Indies.
Yeah,
but you know,
I think I'm glad because I missed the energy and entertainment that she was bringing to the table. I think there was a bit of a hole there for a minute when she dipped out and what they was doing.
Yeah, because the thing with her is she's a character in herself without having to necessarily be in the ring every week. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not even every month.
And she's good at taking whatever they give her and making it, worth watching. You know
I honestly couldn't remember a bad segment that she had. I mean, she's always good on the mic. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah.
But it's funny because like I was talking to a few people and they were like, oh yeah, they're gonna bring her back in and they're gonna, they're probably gonna punish her, they got to spank her a little bit on TV. They're like, oh yeah, they're probably gonna feed her to Alexa Bliss, to give her first main feud. I'm like, oh, that would suck. And then they're like, no, they're probably gonna feed her to Nia Jax and Shayna. I'm like, oh fuck, that sucks too.
Well, she has the character to I think she's talented enough in the ring that she could carry her own weight.
Yeah,
if they want to
bring
her
her
into the women's division.
Yeah,
but also like she could also be part of Aleister Black's stuff too. She really.
I was wondering if but I was thinking, I was like, would that be too on the nose? Kind of like where they got Scarlett and like Cross on NXT.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Well, not that he's telling these. He doesn't have like a storybook every week, but he has like that dark character. He got the girl by his side who's kind of down with the character as well. I'm wondering if she does accompany him, even though I'm loving the shades, by the way. Aleister, the Aleister with the aviators, Aleister.
He needs to go to Raw. I don't know if we're gonna discuss this on the show or not, but
we can get there. Let me see what else I had. If there's anything else important. Oh yeah,
Raw needs everything they can get.
Raw needs everything in general.
they need like all of SmackDown and then
SmackDown is fine. SmackDown is fine.
Raw, I'm gonna be real about it.
Like if I could get 1 hour of Raw and 2 hours of SmackDown for Raw, and then 2 hours of like, you know what I mean? Like,
if I could be real about it too, like one of the reasons this week I heard is that they feel like they're lacking baby faces or all that jazz, because Randy Orton and Matt Riddle and AJ Styles are in the tag division. They feel like they don't have single superstars because of them. Like, that's such a fucking horseshit reason why you don't have good wrestling or something on TV. Because first of all, most of that only happened within the last month and a half or something like that. And I'm being generous.
And on top of it, it was a bunch of moving around all for nothing because you guys didn't even have anything for AJ and Almas like immediately after. You know what I mean?
And also, who put him in the tag division?
Bro, and Kofi keeps saying they ain't signed up. You know what I'm saying? So
bro, how you gonna tag license? Oh man, we got Randy in the tag division, so it's kind of lackluster. You put him there, fool. Like,
and I was gonna say that's what's funny. I'm like, so you're blaming yourself?
Like, I don't understand.
I mean, for me, if I'm running a company, if I'm booking a company, and I Brian will say I have had experience doing so before. I'm gonna look if I'm moving people around in divisions, I'm gonna see, all right, who do I have in this division? Do they have enough people to sustain for the next couple of months? Can I deal without this guy? Can I add him over here? Will that affect anything drastically? I think you would think they would have a whole layout of what the lineup would be if they're like, oh yeah, we'll just have Matt Riddle with I mean, what for?
For what?
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this too.
Are so stupid.
So Bobby Lashley wins on Sunday. Let's just say Bobby Lashley wins, and Drew McIntyre really does move on and moves on to something else. Let's just say gender or anything else, right?
Oh yeah.
Who the fuck does Bobby Lashley wrestle in? Braun Strowman? I don't want to fucking see that.
Nobody want to see that.
I mean, we saw them wrestle each other the last 3 weeks. Bobby,
if they were like, listen,
you know what I mean?
If they were smart, this is what should have happened.
If they
this is what should have happened. You broke up the Hurt Business. You showed dissension between Shelton and Cedric.
Yeah.
As a tag team after that. What you should have did was let Cedric be mouthy about, I was the one who was the man in the Hurt Business anyway, right? And then you built that up for this last month and a half.
Okay.
And so now when Bobby finishes with whatever he's finishing with, now he can have a little intermediate program with Cedric, because Bobby gonna throw Cedric around. Cedric gonna be
it's funny. I already in my head, I was like, he gonna build him. He's gonna build throw him. He gonna do like a full swanton bomb.
It's gonna be great to see. Yeah, it's gonna be great to see for 3 weeks. You get to a pay-per-view and then you reset it. But now running Cedric back to Bobby doesn't make any sense. It doesn't seem credible at all because he hasn't been on that level for the last month and a half.
And I think that's the biggest difference with SmackDown and Raw, because on SmackDown, you could have someone who hasn't been in the world title picture, or you could have Jey Uso. Like, remember when Jey Uso had probably one of the best matches of the year with Roman Reigns last year, and it's fucking Jey Uso, right? You could have had the same thing with the Hurt Business on Raw. You know, you could have had Cedric.
I was thinking about Benjamin. That. I mean, they really
up.
They really could have built up Shelton Benjamin, because even the match he had with Bobby on Raw was really good, actually.
It was good.
Yeah.
But it don't feel like it was for anything.
And see, the thing is, you know, not to look at Cedric as lesser, but that's just, again, the perception that's been put out because of how they use him. You know, that's why it'd be a little bit more acceptable for like what you're saying, Mac. If, like, say for a couple of Raws, not even like on a pay-per-view, you can have him going, you know, back to back, maybe twice in a row, 2 weeks, Cedric versus Bobby. You know what I mean?
Just a little bit. See if it catch fire.
Yeah. And I mean, you'll even probably see things out of Cedric you don't normally get to see, just because he's you know, going against someone who has a little bit of struggle. Him being a champ, they can, you know, entertain a little bit more. I mean, we can even potentially see him versus like Drew later, you know, and him getting a little bit more in instead of being the normal henchman that only, you know, was just there to get the heat before, like, you know, to help Drew look good before he goes up against like Bobby. I mean, there's a lot of things we can do to fix Raw. This is just like so minute here. You know what I'm saying? This is just so like
bro,
minuscule. Like
this week, I made it 52 minutes in. I got through the first hour when they announced that it was going to be like a 6-man tag or whatever with Riddle and RKO and some other fools. I was like,
was it? Oh, right. Yeah, the new day. Oh, it was like 4 and 4, right?
Yeah.
The fadeaway meme.
Yeah. So when I tell you
the Homer Simpson in the bushes,
when I tell you my PSP beep is so loud on Monday night, because it's like. I'm playing the game for the rest of the night, dog. I'm off of this.
I'm cool. Like,
I don't know how you're. I don't know.
I'll read about the developments in the morning. Like, yeah, I feel you. Like,
I'm good.
And it's funny because I think by default, and you guys have a different opinion than I do, but RK Bro is probably, in my opinion, the best thing on Raw. And
by default, I think. I mean, I do enjoy Lashley.
By default,
yeah. I enjoy Lashley still, though. I do. I mean,
I don't even know what I like.
I know, but the thing is, I'm beginning to care less about it.
Like, I was just gonna say, I'm a fan of him still being champion, and I'm a fan of what MVP's been doing. MVP's still been on his job, but just the repetitiveness, the redundancy of the competitors. Like, I feel like they're not really allowing his title reign to really flow. You know what I'm saying? Though they kind of did the same thing with McIntyre. He kept going against Orton for a while. You know what I mean? For a long stretch.
You want to know a hot take? Bobby Lashley's feud with The Miz has so far been better than his feud with Drew McIntyre.
More entertaining for me, yes. Way
That's
more
because
entertaining
Drew-
for me.
That's because Drew is boring.
I don't think he's like hear me out though. Like before, like I feel like this happens a lot. And I got a hot take, but it's for SmackDown. I don't want to disrespect nobody, but we might as well get into it for getting a hot take. But I feel like there's some people where like they are bubbling, right? And then finally when they pop the bubble, then all of a sudden they get on the other side and it's like there's something that just doesn't click anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Drew was very entertaining. He became more charismatic on his climb up to the countdown towards like the Rumble. I mean, I feel like he really got that buzz up. I didn't mind him chasing the championship and then running with the championship during the pandemic era. I felt like they needed somebody solid because I knew it wasn't going to be Brock.
I'll tell you the difference. It's the heel face. When he was literally the psychopath and he had his hair hanging down in front of him.
Yeah, no, I missed that. Yeah.
And he was just coming out kicking people's heads off.
He used to roll through, just pop the hoodie on too real quick.
So that's when I was like, dang, he came back. He's a beast now. And then when he started talking a little more and he was doing the countdown or whatever and he was chasing, cool. But once he became the champ, they do this thing when somebody becomes the champ, they immediately make them like a smiley baby face, like
Randy Orton,
and it doesn't always fit with what they were doing right before that.
Yeah, so like even their promos are a little different, like because I was gonna say, like when Randy won the world heavyweight champ and he tried to, like when he was younger, and they tried to make him a face. I was like, he's a natural. Yeah,
my thing with the
he went from killing guys, and then as soon as he got the belt, all of a sudden he has a sense of humor and he's being witty and stuff. And it's like, yo, that's not why we was rocking with you. We was rocking with you because you was coming out here trying to
be born in psychopathic. What you doing?
Yeah, no, do that. Do that. Because listen, that's what made Roman dope when he came back.
You know what? Yeah, no, really, like, yeah. I mean, I kind of feel like the way that you feel about Bobby with this reign, like, you know, still excited to see that he has a championship, but like, you know, his reign's not really much to look at right now. That's how I've been feeling about Bianca, bro. And it's only because I feel like she's a victim of like bad booking right now. Like this whole laughing shit with Bailey is just like old as it's tired of shit. Like, I mean, I'm not against her first big defense being against Bailey because it makes sense. You know,
it does.
She, longest running, SmackDown's champ. It's a good scalp, as they say, to put on the headboard. You know what I mean? So
my
build is garbage.
My thing, what they do with champions that is a little irritating is they make them like invincible in a way. Like you can't beat them, and I feel like you want to put them over, but there's certain things, like for example with Bianca and Bailey, right? If we were to make predictions, we'd probably all go with Bianca. But if you think about it, you could also tell the story that Bianca is a young champion and Bailey's the veteran in this, and although she's the champion, Bailey should be going into the match as like
with the advantage. Yeah,
and I feel like just because now you have a belt around your waist doesn't make you this unstoppable thing.
Yeah, you're not bulletproof. Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's what they did with Drew. And I think they made that with Drew, and I think that's why some people got a little. But it happens with everyone. Like to me, it happened with Becky Lynch. Like I was like, she held the title for over a year, and I was like, to be honest, you're
like she had to get pregnant.
Not the best wrestler either.
well, yeah, but it was like she had to get pregnant, right? Because there's nowhere else for her to go because they booked her so high up. Like it was like, well, who beats her? Like I mean, you'd have to get cashed in on. That's the only thing I could think of, but.
I think that's the irritable mindset that wrestling fans have is like you do this with every champion you like, but for some reason when it happens with someone like the Fiend or something, he fucking loses to Goldberg. But but I guess where I'm getting at is like it happens with John Cena, Roman Reigns, and a little bit of Becky Lynch, in my opinion, and Drew McIntyre. Is you make these wrestlers feel like they can't be beaten. Like I think Drew McIntyre was in over 90% of the title matches since he won, which makes sense. He was champion for the majority of that, but there was a period where he lost. Yeah. And he also hasn't had the title since February. So you would think that he would still not necessarily have that many championship matches. And
absolutely. Yeah, because he's still very much in the main event scene for someone that it shouldn't really. Yeah, it's a little bit too much.
Like if you think about it, he lost it to Orton. There could have been a Randy Orton title match without Drew McIntyre involved. He lost it in February, and then there was the Miz Bobby Lashley stuff, and that's the only reason Drew McIntyre was. If it wasn't for that, Drew McIntyre would have been in 100% of the championship matches since last April.
Yeah.
So I could see why people are getting, I guess, tired of him. But at the same time, who else is there on Raw to take that spot? We could all name names. We could all name names.
Well, it's funny.
Who would they book?
It's funny you ask because I think we may have a name added to the roster. I was going to bring this up earlier, but it's being reported by Uncle Dave, Dave Meltzer, that Velveteen Dream was backstage at Raw. Yeah, which was surprising as he's barely been seen by anyone in WWE for months. His last match was in 2020, and obviously controversy with all that stuff. I mean, I'm not gonna get into all. I mean, the last we heard was the messaging or the inappropriate messages and the car accident or supposed car accident or whatever the fuck it was. But I don't know. As far as details behind this, no one really knows. They're just saying that I guess he's back at the Performance Center. Some that he's really done in months. So yeah, I don't know. Says not really clear why he was backstage at Raw, but usually that's the intent is you have someone backstage to bring him to the main roster, but we haven't seen him in a long time. I don't know. I don't think he deserves it.
It sucks because I want to like Velveteen Dream. I enjoyed his work. I want to enjoy him, but you just can't. It gives you an uneasy feeling when you hear news like this.
See,
you're just I'm very cautious. I want to hear more. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is, not to have to swing it all the way back to Hogan. I don't want to, but I would, kind of same thing. Like, it's something that's super duper suspect or, something that's inappropriate, controversial. And it's like, bro, like, you haven't said anything about it. They haven't said anything about it. All we hear is, with Hogan, we accepted his apology. Where was it? With them, the investigation didn't, turn up anything. When was the what investigation? Like, you know what I mean? So,
what were you investigating? Were they investigating the issue, or were they investigating the fact that, like, well, if they don't find anything, then we're in the clear?
Yeah,
what are you actually investigating?
Yeah, and that's my thing. Is like I understand that they're a business and they have to do, best interest, yada yada yada. I'm not going to sit here and be devil's advocate and all that shit, but it's like, again, the absence or was the absence of evidence is not the evidence absence. But like it's just like we have because there's a big chunk that's missing. You can't blame like the IWC for the most part, but even people with educated opinions about wrestling to fill in the void with what you can, because it's like, well, he's not saying anything, but then he's not on TV. Oh, now he is on TV. Okay, then it's like, okay, he's on TV, but he's getting beat almost every week, and it's like, okay, so what the hell's going on, man?
And he was already not transitioning well into a non-crowd environment.
Yeah,
he was having a tough time.
And then this all happened, and I think everyone in IWC, even people who were probably even like giving him the benefit of the doubt, were probably like, well, this is a good opportunity to take him off TV for a very long time and bring him back maybe when there's crowds. Like everyone was just like, less Velveteen Dream, the better right now. And to be honest, I didn't miss him. I was surprised he wasn't part of those cuts.
I was surprised as well, dude. I mean, especially, this is around the time where they were releasing a lot of guys on the roster from the UK too for a lot of this allegations and stuff like that. But not this guy. You know what I mean? It was just, I don't know, man. It's again, I don't know what I am. I mean, I know that I loved his work before all that. I don't know if I'll ever enjoy his work ever again like you. I mean, it's one of those things where it's hard to separate the guy and the acts.
Like I said, Hulk Hogan's always going to be remembered for that now, and like Velveteen Dream is going to probably be remembered for this, unless it's like a Kobe situation, and the other person comes out and says like, no, dude, I lied about all that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, like it's just I just don't see it happening. But it's like it's.
But if we're going to correct if we're the ones connecting the dots, then it's just not going to end well for Velveteen Dream.
And that's my thing, especially with so much time.
If they leave us to do that, then there's no reason.
There's too much time passed.
Otherwise,
yeah, I was gonna say because there's so much time that's passed. It's like even at this point, if they try to say something, it's like well, shit. Oh, then we're gonna jump on. I'm like, well, it took y'all long enough. Like, I don't even know if I believe you.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
Because like, who's typing your statements on Twitter, Junior? Like, I mean, shit. Like,
that's what we call all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like, if it's one thing for so long and you let it be that, and then finally, when you've done enough behind the scenes to like cover it, then you try to present some truth. It's kind of been too long for that, Chief. You know what I'm saying?
And, it's like, it kind of reminds me of what, like, I thought maybe, and the thing is, like, I don't work for the WWE, so I don't know what's going on really
yet.
But like,
you could be the key.
I think I could rewrite Raw. I think I could rewrite Raw.
You and Matt booking. I mean,
easy.
I'm saying,
with no experience, with no fucking experience in the business at all, I could probably go in there and at least get him up.
Dude, I have more confidence.
A small bump in the ratings.
I have more confidence in going in there than these Hollywood writers who think they know what they're talking about. I mean, at least you know what from a fan perspective what we want to see from an entertainment aspect. Yeah,
at the very least, I could be the guy in the office, and when they say this is what we're going to do, I could be like,
yeah,
don't do that.
Don't do that.
Maybe we shouldn't have Velveteen Dream and Hulk Hogan in the main event segment. Hey, I don't think so.
Could I ask why we putting Hulk Hogan up on WrestleMania?
He's like,
so imagine Hulk Hogan.
We don't want it.
Wait, it's Velveteen versus Jackson Riker with Hulk Hogan as the special guest. What is going on?
We don't need it.
Man, like, I don't know, man. It's like I said, I don't see, like you said, it seems like we're gonna be getting crowds back, you know, sooner than later. AEW starting to, I mean, they announced tour dates and shit like that. So
it might not be a good idea to have Velveteen Dream in front of the crowds right now, though.
That's what I'm saying, and that's what I was gonna say, because I was like, I mean, I don't know, it's weird. I mean, because like I think one of the only people that got kind of that Kobe treatment, but hasn't really been balling like Kobe since, is Enzo Amore. You know, he got pretty
I was gonna bring him up. Yeah,
you know, he had a bad rap, and then he got, you know, pretty much acquitted and you know, redeemed for the most part. But I mean, you know,
if I could see too, especially if Triple H ever runs a show where maybe it's NXT and maybe with Vince's approval, I could see Enzo and Big Cass back with the WWE at some point.
Well, Cass is in, or William Morris.
He's signed with Impact, right?
I don't know if he's signed.
I feel like Impact. I feel like Impact contracts are signed on like wet paper
napkins.
Towels. Like they're not real.
Shit. Yeah, it's just like, yeah. Oh man, they're like, it's as good as it, as long as it keeps up. Oh, it's kind of ripping. Oh, well, I guess you're released.
I've heard. I guess that's
it's cut in half. Oh, that's a pay cut. Sorry, pal.
I've heard people in that company like, yeah, they signed a 3 to 5 year contract, and all of a sudden, like a year later, I don't even hear them being released or anything. But now they're on NXT or something.
Yeah. You're like, oh, so it's like I feel like this. People don't get released; they just leave when the contract's up. Like, right? Like that's I don't think they've ever released anyone. Like,
I don't think they want to release anybody. I don't know if they're vacations like a regular job. Like, all right, bro.
I mean, I know they've restructured people's salaries because, you know, I know they weren't making, you know, bank, so, but people were still coming in with the restructured salary plans and all that, but I don't think they've ever released it. I mean, I don't think they could afford it. You know, that's bad. But like, can you imagine?
The only person they've ever released was Tessa, right?
Wait. I think they released. Oh, I think it was her, and I think they also released Teddy Hart. Now that I think about it,
of course, Teddy Hart got released.
Yeah. I was thinking about I think they released CM Punk as well. I think they released both of them at the same time. Oh man, but let's get into it, Mr. Lowe. I see you got your posse behind you.
Oh, you see it?
I see the drip. I ain't gonna lie, man. It was okay. So like, I'll let you know how I felt, and then I'm gonna let you take them. I'm gonna let you rock. All right.
Word.
I love the presentation. I loved how they brought the chair, like the same chair that he hits those vignettes in where he's in the studio. I thought it was good for like a visual purpose. Swerve was dope. You know, the whole it's about to get spooky in here. I'm like, okay, I'm liking this swag. Okay. AJ surprised the shit out of me because I'm used to watching him on the A&E show, the Most Hidden Treasure. So he's like the guy, like it always says, aspiring wrestler / field collector. He's the main guy on the show that he goes he's in contact with all the wrestlers. He's the one that goes with them to go chase down these artifacts or these freaking all the gimmicks and stuff like that they're trying to find. He's like the main guy on there. You know what I mean? But then all of a sudden, I see 2 weeks of him being on the show, and then all of a sudden he's on NXT as a wrestler. I'm like, okay, this is crazy. Okay, and he came with some bars a little bit, didn't he?
Most credible rapper that I've seen in wrestling.
Wait, you're gonna break Max Caster's heart, bro.
He might be the best, bruh. He might be the best rapper on wrestling that I could think of. Because usually, being a rapper, bro, anything
you gotta corny
rap,
it up. Yeah.
Anything rap, I be cringing the whole time.
Yeah.
I be like, ugh, this is gross. Get it off my TV. I can't take it.
John Cena rapping about burritos when he's going up against.
I'm not gonna lie,
bro. People be so mad at me because I don't like John Cena, and I have like 2 or 3 reasons why I don't like him. But that's one of the main ones. He got over with a rap gimmick and he can't rap.
I like what he representing. I like the style, like what he was representing, because me being an artist at the time, I'm like, all right, he ain't who I would have voted for, but he ain't doing it to, he ain't misrepresenting.
I couldn't do it, bro. Even me at 12 years old, I was like, F this.
First of all, I'm not here to defend him. I'm not Baca. I'm not here to defend him, but he does have a doctorate in thugonomics, A.
What is that? Thugonomics is appropriation 101.
He must have gone to school for at least 5 to 6 years.
Man,
he's probably still paying off the student loans for that doctorate.
I don't know.
So let's give him some credit.
He makes a lot of money.
Thugonomics is extremely
he really
did.
Like he was like, hey, I'm about to mark this 8 Mile shit right quick.
Yeah, and everybody was like, yes, and I was like, we're good with this.
Okay, because I think I said it in the chat. It was like, oh yeah, it's Cena with the long yellow pants, like the baggy pants. I was like,
my God,
that ain't it, but yeah.
It's not.
But I ain't gonna lie. Like, you know what got me? The hook with John Cena for me was just because of the fact that he had the whole chain gang thing and the logo. It was like at the same time you had G Unit that was really big at the time. So I was heavy in G Unit. So it was
the reason why I didn't like it.
It was an easy crossover, but I could tell it was a copy. You know what I'm saying?
He has on an actual chain, and I thought that was goofy. I was like,
yeah, with the padlock on it, bro.
I was like, why is he wearing an actual chain? Like, we rap about chains, field keeper? That's not what we mean. And so to me, it felt like he just didn't get it.
The ruthless aggression era was a crazy time,
It was a crazy time.
If you look back, it's like, let's just have a white guy on TV just throw out some homophobic stuff in rhyme form. And
dude, I was gonna say,
let's just call it a day.
And then he had like a fake ass gang sign that he was throwing up with the pinkies and all that. So I just wasn't rolling.
Remember,
I remember
the mini.
He said Boston was good.
I literally
remember that 2 hour. Remember that 2 hour faction he had with Crime Time? It was like that faction lasted like 2 hours.
It was called
on a 3 hour Raw.
It was called Cinnamon Toast Crunch. No, it was CTC. I remember that. And then it was just for Raw. And I was like, oh, this must have been the early trials for when he was doing this later in time with the Usos with the face paint.
Gross. But anyway, back to the
You see how far we had to go? Like, I mean, we didn't even spend no time on Max Caster. And
the reason why it was dope to me. This is the reason why it was dope to me, because one, I've seen the rap gimmick. How many times have we seen rappers come out on wrestling,
or at least try?
I hate it.
And try. And it's trash. It's hate, and we hate it, especially being rappers ourselves. It's like, bro,
you're like,
get the guy out of here as soon as possible.
Yeah, it's like it's supposed to be you turned up. I mean, especially because me being an artist who raps a lot about wrestling, the correlations between the two is too easy for you to get it wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Stumbling and fumbling through your whole...
you know what I'm saying? It's
the fact that
I also don't want a company that's ran by Vince McMahon or Triple H basically co-signing on these rap gimmicks.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so for it to come off, for me to watch it, and it actually felt like his cadence felt very battle rapper. I was like,
yeah.
Oh,
I was just gonna bring that up because the only
wait a minute.
The only other time we got a delivery like that was the Usos and the New Day, with Wale. But nothing ever came close to that.
Yes.
Ever. Yeah.
And even with them, I was like,
because
shout out to Wale, because Wale, you could tell, was like, hey,
Yeah.
when you do it like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But with
I mean,
this
at
dude,
least it wasn't Sheamus singing Ice Ice Sheamus.
my God.
Or
That's
is
why
it Cesaro?
that's why I was mad at Miz and Morrison with the Bad Bunny joint. I was like, this is stupid.
I ain't gonna lie. The second one was pretty hilarious to me, just because I'm like, oh, they really went in the studio and cut this. Like this is
right. I was
like you know what it is. Like it's funny. You're gonna laugh. Johnny Drip Drip is cool, but MCMIZ is what's cringe to me, because I hear it in his voice. He's trying too hard. Like he's trying to come with the voice. He's like, this is my Miz rapper voice. Yeah, exactly.
Gross. Don't do rapper voice. What is that?
The thing is, like, the difference, and it's funny because you would think they would make a good act, and they kind of are, but kind of not, is Miz has this persona that he's this A+ superstar or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But John Morrison, even when he was in Lucha Underground, Johnny Impact and stuff, he's always had this cadence that he's a B-level movie star and all that. And he's willing to try and do anything.
Yeah.
But he's got the arrogance to pull it off. Whereas like Miz just looks like a white guy fucking being a culture vulture. Like
especially when you see all the stuff he's been wearing and the way he's been acting for, like, he's like, oh, the finest things, I'm this rich guy and top, and all of a sudden it's like
that's Johnny Mundo right there. He could talk to Bad Bunny how he wants. Like, that's Johnny Mundo.
That's why I thought it should have been Johnny, because I was like, well, he obviously knows Spanish. He spent a lot of time there, like wrestling in Mexico. My only thing about the Hit Row was Ashanti. I didn't know what he was saying. Like, he said he had, like, I only got 3 rules, and he said something like, oh, you said like the details is crucial. I'm like, okay, I like that. And then he said some, like, I don't even know what he said for the second one. Then all of a sudden he's just like spazzing out, like,
he started tripping.
Yeah, he was like, man, you
know
better,
why?
You better, what do you say? Something about the vibes. The vibes better be right or something like that.
You know why?
Yeah.
I'm trying. He's supposed to be the firecracker of the group.
Okay,
he's supposed to be the one that's turned up. He's supposed to be the one that's on Ready, Set, Go.
I wanted to ask you about that, because me and my brother were like, the only reason I was like, man, he reminded me of, like, he's trying to be like he wants to be O-Dog and like but then my brother said another one. I can't remember right now, but he was like,
glad you said that. You know who he should literally just rip his whole character from? He should be Lee from Snowfall.
Oh, that's good.
Because Lee,
that's good.
If you watch it, Lee is always like this.
Hey, by the way, it's funny. I was like, who was just talking about? Oh, that was you just talking about Snowfall the other day.
He's real chill. He's real calm. But he has that.
No, he got some.
I'm ready, set, go. As soon as I get the word, it's 100 right now. But I'm chilling because the homie said to relax.
See, but that was the only thing I was like, I feel like he's gonna be that dude that he's like, that they have some smooth operation going off, and he's gonna be the one that's gonna like get to. He that wild card. He that wild card, but that might ruin it. You know what I'm saying?
But Swerve needs to be.
You got to keep these fools in line.
Keeping everybody in line, and that's your hitter. So anytime you make the call, he got to be ready to set go and knock out whoever he's talking about, but always have that just about to go over the edge moment. You can tell that story long term. And if they want him to turn way down the line and be the one that steps out of line, cool. But what happens is you want to show that you're ready to go, ready, set, go.
Oh, that's
don't be that. Don't be that, because now he already showed us that he's turned up. So now when the moment comes, there's nowhere for him to go, because we just saw him always turned up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he has to be right
that's what I was about to say.
He has to be on the border because that we know he could flip. And so when the moment comes and he flips, it makes sense.
Yeah, because my brother, he said, he said he's trying to be G Money to. He said he's G.
Exactly.
He said he's G Money trying to be Bishop. And I was like, he actually reminds me of that cat that ended up turning his back on 50 Cent and trying, you know what I mean? Because he wanted to do too much. Like he was like, nah, we ain't taking this disrespect. I'm like, bro, you need to chill. Like the little wild ones you got to look out for. You know what I mean?
So, but I think he turned it up too far too soon.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The character is though. So hopefully,
because the overalls reminded me of like old school Tupac. You know what I mean? Like from like Above the Rim, Juice and stuff like that.
Yep.
So I was
so the I don't know. So the AEW is doing a similar thing, not entirely, right? They have their own rapper. Do you guys like Max Caster?
I think he has his moments. When he first started, I was like, when he first debuted on Dynamite with Bowens, I was not a fan because it was weak. They kept, trying to make it seem like they were gay because of the whole book cover thing, and I was like,
the Young Bucks thing was super whack.
And then the Young Bucks even say like, "Oh, rapper gimmick, that's original." I'm like, great. So you know what I mean. But in the coming week, I think the first time Max Caster made me like actually like, I'm like, oh, that was kind of cool. Was when he was part of that I think that ladder match. It was like that 6-man for, was it Full Gear? I think it was, or was it? Yeah. So he had a solo match, and that I forgot what bars he spit then, but I was like, oh, okay, that was kind of cool. But then he had another match where he fought Kazarian and spit bars on Kazarian, and then Kazarian spit bars on him back, and I was like, bro, how you let Kazarian kill you, bro? Like, I was just like, come on, bro.
First of all, Kazarian's IE all the way.
That's true. That's very true.
You got to represent. So
he's trying. I heard he wants to.
He's probably the same. He wants probably hung out with Noah James a few times.
He probably.
You know what I'm saying? Probably was he probably was in the circuit under a different name. You know what I'm saying? We never.
When he raps, I get the vibe. There was if I'm speaking to my own history a little bit, right? There was a moment one time I was walking out of my high school, and these dudes was like, "Hey, these dudes heard about you. They want to battle right now, but they said you scared." And I was like, "Where they at?" And so then I called one of my homeboys, and we was like literally a block away. So me and the homie literally got in the back of a pickup truck of a stranger, and they took us to this other school that I shall not name in a nicer neighborhood than mine. It was then that I knew that whoever was about to battle me was about to get smoked.
I'm calling out everything that I
so when we walked into the student parking lot of that school, the kids walked out and they were all dressed very nice. They were all very prim and proper. And then when we hopped out the car, you could see some of them get a little shook because they didn't realize that these dirty ass ghetto kids was on their way to their school.
They was finna pull up.
When said rapper rapped, did he have a good cadence? Yes. Did he have good rhymes? Yes. Was everything about his technique solid? Yes. But the one thing that he was lacking was the experience to give off the authenticity that it was going to be necessary to make anybody believe what he was saying. So when I hear these dudes, all I hear is somebody being a rapper in a Lifetime movie for all I care. Like,
like someone that just raps in the car when they're drunk or something like
technically,
that.
Technically, Fergie on Black Eyed Peas records is rapping. But do you put her in the pantheon of rappers? No.
I mean, I don't know. We're talking top 50.
That's a very good example.
You feel me?
Are we talking to the Grammys or who? It depends.
The verb of rapping and being a rapper is different from actually being a rapper. So you can rap and not be a rapper. And so when I see these dudes, they don't give me that vibe. They have the verb. I can go outside and play basketball, but you can look at me and tell I'm not a hooper.
Yeah, I feel what you're saying. Like you enjoy the game enough to want to play, and then but it's like, oh yeah, I ain't going to state. I ain't getting
but I ain't about that life.
Yeah. I
ain't about that life.
Like with it's funny because they said that I guess he is a former battle rapper, Max Caster.
Let's put this in perspective.
Because I was thinking, I ain't never seen you on K Dot. I ain't never seen you. I ain't never seen you on. I ain't seen you battling nobody.
And that's the thing, like with Max Caster, and it seems like with him, even if he's got a past life in this, rapping's the gimmick.
Yeah,
more so than that's who he is. Like, for example, when some people come in, like, for example, Matt Riddle, right? He's this high MMA guy. He comes in, he's this high MMA guy. It's not that, but Vince McMahon's kind of sort of made that into a gimmick recently. But even when he was in NXT, it was just that's who he is. With Max Caster, it feels like they made that into a gimmick more so than that's who he is.
Right.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And stuff like that. And
like he's playing a character more than himself turned up to 12, like as they said.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I know, like, I'm not saying this, but he raps. I'm not saying he does this, but he raps like he doesn't make eye contact.
Yo, exactly.
Like, he might be making eye contact, but he raps like he doesn't.
Because y'all know, you ever battle somebody and you be looking at them like, because they scared while they rapping. Like, you don't even believe that shit you saying.
He was like, no, I just wanted to see how the crowd was reacting. I was feeling the crowd.
So nobody cares about your comic book and your gun bars. You don't believe that.
Yeah. Word. It's like, no, I didn't want you to pocket check me. I'm just, it's just like, man. Yeah, I don't know. It's I did.
He doesn't have the character.
I love getting your perspective on it. You know, obviously having the battle rap background, because I always wondered, like, is he representing for your contingent or?
So for example, like what Max said, right? The other guy at the other school, he didn't have the confidence or whatever, and you know, he might have brought all the rap techniques and elements, but he just didn't seem like a rapper, right? When I used to do it, I already knew that going in, that I was not going to be under this box as being a rapper. So I tried everything to not be a rapper when I did it.
Right.
And that was my character. So which
works
Max
for you.
Does
yeah.
Right. And when Max does his little thing, it seems like he's not confident in his character to do it.
Nope.
And he's just doing it.
Do you think,
just by doing it doesn't make you a rapping character or gimmick.
Yeah,
it just makes you really at your job.
Yeah,
I'd rather have you just be a good wrestler.
And then the only people that believe him as a rapper are people who don't know actual rappers, and that's why I use that example, because once we pulled up, all those kids were like, "Oh, that's what it's supposed to look like."
Yeah. You're like, oh my god, I've seen the word in books, but I've never seen Swagger in person.
Yeah.
Look at the way he maneuvers and moves his hands as he
all
speaks.
of a sudden, let me give you a real depiction of what this really is about.
It's like he looks like what we read about in the XXL magazines.
So when I also used to battle, too, I had this mentality is what I'm about to say is going to get me punched in the face, which A, is still good content.
Yeah.
Or B, I'm going to say something and it's still going to be solid or good, right?
Yeah.
With Max, this is a wrestling company, and what he says still doesn't make me think anyone's going to punch him in the face.
No, like you should be.
I don't know, man, because last time he said, he you know, they had that 4-way match just recently. And what do you say about Brian Pillman? He said, "Oh, in 10 years you'll be on Dark Side of the Ring." I was like, "God damn, bro!" I was like, because I just watched it. I was like, "This is a sad ass story." And then for him to say that,
it should be that all the time.
And I was like, Brian, but what I was saying, but see, that's my point. Brian didn't even serve it to him, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, man, like, you know, if that was me, you know, because like I said, I ain't gonna be the next John Cena talking about everyone on my nuts and all these gay jokes. Like he was getting away with a lot, bro.
You know what they should do, honestly? If I was them, this is what I would do. Because one thing that I remember was a lot of times what we have now, we have a lot of throwaway matches that we'll be like, oh, they put on a banger, but it didn't really mean anything. So like right now, Ricochet and Ali are killing it, but nobody cares because the story is weak, right?
Dude, I saw that video. I saw that video promo. I was like, too bad no one's even seeing this.
Too bad nobody cares, right?
Yeah, you know.
Remember back in the day, I think it was Al Snow and Big Boss Man. And Big Boss Man killed Al Snow's dog.
Yeah,
and
man.
Fed it to him. But look, that was one segment, right? But as a viewer, you know, oh, he killed his dog and it made him eat it on the low. So from now on, it's on site. From now on, it's on site.
Word.
So it don't matter if it's main event, Sunday Night Heat, Monday Night Raw. If they see each other, they want to kill each other because you killed my dog, bro. That's all I need. So we don't need no story. So
Big Boss Man, a rapper, bro.
He did.
Remember
fucking asshole.
Remember when he did Paul White's dad? Remember
he dragged the casket.
He was dragged the casket.
Big Boss Man was a fucking dick.
What on site, bro? Oh, but
hey, he needed to hang for a little bit.
So that's what I'm
I'll throw
saying.
this out there. Yeah, like what Mac is saying is the thing about AEW a little bit too is there's this idea of healthy competition too much. Like,
Yeah.
some shit should just be on site. Like, I know
That's
you have
it.
literally 35 matches a week on YouTube and stuff
Yeah,
like
no,
that. But like,
it's seriously like that much. It's crazy. Yeah.
But this is what he should do.
Like,
If he's a rapper for real, make music, right? Put songs, since you're utilizing YouTube anyway. He should put songs out just like we used to put songs out on SoundCloud or whatever back in the day about whoever.
He did
whoever.
Didn't he do a Young Bucks diss?
Out. Maybe.
Yeah, he did a Young Bucks diss.
But do that, and then that be the reason why these people want to kill you because you said something disrespectful on YouTube in a song. You know what I'm saying? Or you said,
outside the forum. Outside the forum. Yeah,
it's an actual song, but you had two bars in there that was you had a bar that flipped somebody's name, and they took it as disrespect. Now we have a reason to care about.
Hey, would you say? What I heard what you said in that video. Like, what you mean? What I said? You said
exactly.
I was going yada yada like yada yada. Man, it's a punchline. You need to chill, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of walking out kicking 8 trash ass bars before every match that don't mean anything.
Well, see,
make it count.
I wouldn't mind if you did. Look. I wouldn't mind if they were gonna actually build him and they had like maybe a couple of like quick tune-up matches for him against like some of the jobbers they got on Dark. And if he was gonna use those 8 bars to dress him down like, yo, your gear's whack, like your name is like, if he was gonna totally tear somebody apart before he just totally beats him, I'd be down for that. But yeah, he's just coming up with some like, it's a random 8 bars. Yeah.
And the thing is, which I don't think they're thinking about right now, because I think
he might as well be R-Truth. What's up?
I'd much rather hear R-Truth through "What's Up" down the ramp every single time than hear someone throw out 8.
Hey, I felt bad. We definitely did. Yeah, when we started talking about the rapping and wrestling, we did not give R-Truth his anything.
But what I think the problem is on AEW side, which it could eventually happen on the NXT side too. So let's chill, I guess. Is, for example, when they did the Young Buck we all knew the Young Buck thing was more of a 1 to 2 week thing because Young Bucks are not going to invest in 2 to 3 months to build this feud with these people. Mm-hmm. So like if you're going to make a Young Buck or whatever, that situation is only relative to that time. Whereas like if you're starting a feud, like let's just say you're going to do it with the Varsity Blondes or whatever, and you're making diss songs and you're saying shit about Brian Pillman and all that, that could be a 2 to 3 month thing. Yeah. And it can make the rapping more meaningful.
Yep.
Whereas if it's just them coming out and every week dissing a new person, who gives a shit?
Exactly.
Well, I mean, the danger though, you're leaving the door a little open for anyone to be like, well, shit, let's respond. I don't want no one to respond. That is no. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like it's when you say like Varsity Blondes, I'm like, damn, they might have Pillman Jr. and fucking what's his name, Griff, try to actually.
Nobody else should start rapping. But that's the thing. If I'm not a rapper and you say something disrespectful, it happens on some real street shit for real. People say stuff that is applying to people who aren't rappers, but they're from the neighborhood, and then there's smoke. You know what I'm saying? So it don't have to be like they come back on the same level, but it could be if the night before Dynamite, this song drops and the internet goes crazy, like, oh, listen to them. Imagine if they put out the equivalent of like a Control verse and they just was name dropping people. And then the next night, everybody want to beat their ass.
See, that'd be dope. that'd be dope. But it would have to be someone that's like really putting up numbers. You know what I'm saying? That really got the moment. Because it's like if it's Max Caster now, it's like, and he's dropping a bunch of names. If he's dropping like Omega's name, like people that he probably
nobody gonna match with. Yeah, you know what I mean. So you gotta find that variant that works. But
Omega is actually not a bad name because Omega, in my opinion, Kenny Omega is just doing whatever the fuck he wants right now. That's what. Yeah, that's true. No, he's a good champion, but fuck, like sometimes I'm watching AEW, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
I'll put it to you like this.
He's running wild right now. Yeah.
The rapping thing that they're doing right now, they might as well not be rapping, right? Because it's just a promo that happens to Ron. It's the same thing that LA Knight does when he walks out. His music cuts off and then he talks before he hits the ring. It's the same thing. So you're rapping, but you're not making it worth actually rapping. You might as well just talk if you're gonna be that trash about it.
And to your point, we're looking at it as like, man, was that rap good or was that promo good? We're not talking about a promo. We're talking about the rap at that point. And to be honest, we should just talk about the promo. If you want to say something, say you could. Just because you're a rapper doesn't mean you always have to rap.
You don't have to rap every single time. That's one thing I said about these guys. I literally said that to my sister. I was like, I like them, but I hope every promo doesn't rhyme.
Yeah, hey, no, like his how their presentation of this was, I felt like they allowed Swerve a lot of hands in as far as like him being one of the chefs in the kitchen for this. Yeah. I can't help. I mean, I got to get used to the name. I'm not against the name, but I feel like I'm sure, you being a rapper as well, we probably ran into some circles or saw like some random flyers on the floor somewhere about someone rapping from Hit Row Records. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I can't help. I'm like, well, they got AJ with the red on throwing up the 3 looking like Suge Knight. So you know what I mean? So I was like, oh, I guess that's it. You know what I mean? And then I was like, I already made the comparison to, or I guess the intrigue of if he can go that way of Ashanti, the Adonis going towards like a Tupac sort of like, like you said, loose cannon type of joint. You know what I mean? Brianna Brandy, I thought maybe she was going to be wrestling, but it seems like she's more of like a valet. I'm not against
it seems like she's going to be more of a valet. And if that's the case, granted, this is probably her first time on mic. She was very promo class. You know what I mean? So I hope that she continues to get comfortable. Because I wish
she had a different name. I ain't gonna lie. B-Fab.
I'm not really. B-Fab is kind of hard. It comes off the tongue kind of hard. It doesn't really flow. Brandy
comes out with like William Regal came up with it, or
yeah, B-Fab.
We need a name. What about B-Fab?
He called her Fabulous B, and they were like
fabulous. Fucking name.
Fabulous.
It's like because it's like they call me B-Fab. Because that'd be fabulous. I'm like, oh, that wasn't that witty at all.
That was like
that was like 1 + 1. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
They call me 2. Why? Because 1 + 1 = 2.
But this is the thing.
Oh, okay.
I remember when the New Day first formed, I was like, get this out of here. This is trash. I could pull up tweets right now where I was like, boo.
No lie though, like it was like I can't remember a time where you get that representation, but it's cringe as fuck. Like I can't remember other than that, right? Because usually it's the representation or appropriation that gets you cringy more than it is like, well, they could have just put a black guy in this place, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like to do the same thing except right. But then just like have you guys heard of that long-standing like I forgot what they call them, like those theories, conspiracy theories that the New Day purposely, like they did that shit on purpose to turn heel, like they worked Vince McMahon.
Yeah. They saw that original the original Inception idea wasn't going to work, so they were like, we just gotta flip it on our own.
Yeah, it's like let's be as corny as we can, and make sure that the people hate us, so that they can hear that they hate us, and we can just
that was way worse than this, and so that's why I think this is going to be dope as hell once they find their footing.
This is cool. You got.
I just pray they give it enough time to breathe, man. Just give it enough time to breathe.
Yeah.
Before we get into predictions, though, we have one question. I have one question. Who's going to be the Owen Hart of the group?
Oh, they got to add somebody,
right?
They got to add Bobby Fish because he's homeless right now.
Oh no, man.
Roger Strong.
One thing.
Roddy got to come back.
Well, they got to.
Gang is all broke up.
They got to be Canadian, right? They got to be Canadian if it's Owen Hart. So we'll maybe both. We'll just put both of Everrise in there. That'd be good. It'll be great.
Everrise.
What about?
No, but you know what though? I was even asking my brother, I'm like, hey, how would you feel if like maybe down the line they had like Josiah Williams like part of it at some point?
He could walk them out or something.
Like either that or maybe you could see him maybe like in a vignette. He's maybe one of the artists in the background recording something.
Yeah, I could see him being like
nothing overly involved, but like something that'd be kind of cool.
Josiah needs a stable so we can get jobs.
Yes.
Josiah needs to start a gang so we can all get jobs.
Yes.
I do think even though we've seen the match before, I don't know. I think
if I could
Cameron Grimes not being in the match, but being involved in a feud would be really fun.
Yeah,
but Cameron Grimes. Yeah, Cameron Grimes in the Hit Row
because he got the money. He could be in there like I can take this record label to the next level.
Like fucking Can we call it Cameron Rowe? Oh, I'm just thinking about it. It's a working title. It's nothing. Like, oh, yeah, no, dude, he would do it so great. Yeah, I mean, Cameron does it good. One thing I do want to say also before we get into predictions, I want to congratulate Tamina, man. She finally, after all this time,
wanted got a strap. Bro. Yes, sir.
And you know what? I love the way that they let her win. They let her do that. And the only thing I was like, they really ain't saying nothing about her dad on commentary at all.
She had a dad once. Like,
hey,
basically that's what they're like.
She keeps doing this and like doing this, but it was like
a couple Hall of Famers.
But you know what they did? You know how far they went though. This is how far they went. They, instead of putting Neidhart and Jimmy Snuka, right, there was a side by side between. It was like Tamina and Natty, and then it was Yokozuna and Owen Hart. And I was like, because I don't know if you remember when Yokozuna and Owen Hart won the tag team championships.
Yeah.
I was like, because you forget that Yoko, even though he was this Japanese Samoan guy, he was really in this Japanese superstar. He was a Samoan. He's part of the Samoan dynasty. So I was like, I guess you, but I mean,
that's a stretch.
It's
just don't do the thing.
Yeah, I was like, her side of the family is like different, but in the same spot. But just
not do the comparison, right?
Yeah, it's like, or just pick her dad, or not do it at all. Yeah, it was just like, it's not like her dad's a nobody, but it's like, fuck, oh man. But
technically, he didn't get found guilty, right? So
technically, some say
didn't he died before they could do something. Yeah,
some say they died from the guilt. That's what some say. But I don't know.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Oh man, I mean, fucking A, dude. Because I was gonna say, I was starting to say
that point of the show.
No, I was starting to say something. I was like, I can't say that, so I just stopped myself. I had to stop myself. That's why I said fucking A, man. But how do you guys feel about this the Jimmy Uso stuff that's been going on?
That was almost the picture in the background. I almost got that nobody's bitch shirt put back here.
Yo, I'm surprised. I was like, they're really letting him say this on TV. I'm like, okay, cool. That's what's up.
I love
buying that shirt. I'm buying that shirt.
Nobody's bitch.
Yeah.
I love it.
What are you trying to say?
I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna put it on when my girl try to make me like cook or wash dishes, and I'm gonna be like, wait a minute.
Hit her with that. Whoa.
If my friend and I were married, we would be the head of the table.
That shit was funny, dude. Yeah, I'm digging the Jimmy promos. It's not over the top.
It's just right. He's good, man. He's good with that.
I mean, since we're a wrestling podcast, if we're gonna find one negative about the whole thing, which it's probably my favorite thing on TV. I do feel like after the Daniel Bryan thing with Cesaro was put on a certain pedestal, and now like just a week later they're making it more about Jimmy Uso and then Cesaro, and Cesaro is the one who has the match coming this Sunday.
Yes.
And so now, because I was really excited, I'm like, oh, maybe Cesaro's gonna have a slow build or do this. Now with the Jimmy Uso stuff, I do kind of feel like they're eventually gonna fade Cesaro back out, and then they're just gonna have Jimmy Uso do what he does.
I think
so. I am a little down on that, but I do like the storyline still.
Prediction: Jimmy and Cesaro are going to be tag team champions.
Oh,
that's actually really good.
I don't like that.
I don't know. I like that. If for a transitional period, I don't mind.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
But if they become like 2-year champions or something, what the fuck happened there?
I need my twins together.
I need my Barsos.
I need my Usos together, bro. I don't know. It's man, the Barsos.
I want to see. I want to see. And I think this
one
would
like
be really
this, the
cool.
other one like this.
Yeah, that's the shirt. Oh my god, we're just
man, this is hilarious.
I do want to see the Usos. I do want to see the Jimmy versus Jay match eventually, and it would be really. No, is money in the bank coming up?
Twin. Hey, and then you got to fight your brother the same day.
I think it's June. Yeah, I think it's in June. Is usually what it is.
I think
like,
Jay and Jimmy.
I know it's
gonna be so you know that I'm the head booker of Raw, right? So this is This is what I would do at Money in the Bank. Roman doesn't want somebody to have the briefcase that could be looking over his shoulder because he's a paranoid guy. So he's like, I'm going to have both Usos in that match. So one of them wins the Money in the Bank, and then no one cashes in it, right? But there's still that speculation that like we know Jay might not cash in, but Jimmy's still on the fence. So Jay's also in the match to keep Jimmy from winning the briefcase, which ends up allowing somebody else to win the briefcase, and Roman Reigns is just as pissed at the Usos.
See, the thing with, I could see like Roman like talking about the Usos, and then like they're leaving, and then like he kind of pulls Jay to the side, like, "Hey man, make sure you watch him and make sure," you know what I mean, doing. But then again, that's how WWE always insults our intelligence, because they pretend like these guys don't watch the show, and then they'll keep going on the next week and be like,
well, you could also have Roman just bring Jay in, but then close the door.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
then we could just assume
it's just right hand man business.
Yeah. And then the night after Money in the Bank, like you could have Roman address Jay like, "Hey, I told you don't let Jimmy win, but that doesn't mean to allow somebody else to win."
Yeah.
And so we find out this is after the fact, maybe.
But also that's very well thought out. And that's not what we here for.
That's not it ain't gonna happen.
So we here for the savagery. We gotta. It's like nah. We got. I mean, man, that's real logical, but you know that's not why we hired these guys. So, you know, I'm sorry. We're gonna have to just take that and just erase all that and just start from scratch.
Like, you know, yeah, sounds like, good. Get this guy out of here.
No lie though, like one of the things I've been waiting on is because they don't really talk about it, is like. But they sure tell reference it every time. Obviously, Tribal Chief. I want to when we gonna get the Tribal Chief versus the other chief, the chief operating officer of the Hurt Business, Chief versus Chief.
Well, I was kind of hoping that eventually that would be a Survivor Series, but apparently the Hurt Business doesn't exist.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I can see it at Survivor Series, but I don't see them I don't see Lashley sadly being champion that long. Would I want it that way? Yeah, I mean I don't see.
Where's Keith Lee?
I don't know, man. You're gonna have to talk to Keith.
Isn't he hurt?
Call him.
Damn it, Mia, where are you? Yeah, it's like,
it's really.
What do you mean he's trying to restart Retribution with you and just him?
Oh
hell no. Slapjack's on the.
Hey, first of all, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, like Mace. Not only does he need to go to the performance center, the fucker needs to go back to OVW or some shit. Like the guy needs some work to do. Like,
he's not bad. Okay. I'm gonna tell you his gimmick before this. Now think about it. You used to see watch a lot of the Riverside shows for NXT, right, Brian?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you remember him being? You remember Brennan Williams on the on the undercard? Yeah, that's him. He was the guy that was like freaking dressed like Lenny Kravitz, but he was like the Sultan of Sit, because he would just do this whole thing where he would just sit in the corner like Raven. But dude, the crowd was into it. It was ridiculous. Like they would like.
He was always part of those like 10-man like tag matches, or he was putting like
the first time I saw
Robert Roode over at the beginning of the match or something.
Like when I went out to Orlando a couple years ago, I actually caught like a Cocoa Beach show in the Armory and shit, and that's the first time I saw him. But he was against Velveteen Dream. I was surprised they did that shit so early. And
then Brock Lesnar put him through a table, and that was the end of that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
I didn't hate him on commentary, because I do have the like. I don't know how to say this, but I guess like I just assume you're gonna suck if you're on Raw commentary. So like if you just do a little better than sucking, I'm like, hey, you're really good at it.
Hey, this guy's decent. Yeah.
And I was like, he was there for 3 weeks, and then they're like, never mind.
You're like, Brock's like, I don't like this guy. I don't like this guy on my show.
4 tables.
Oh shit. You guys ready for predictions?
Yeah, let's do it. So it's out of 6 confidence
points.
Or
is there anything else we got to address? I mean, anything else happened this week? I mean, I think we touched mostly on everything, right?
Nah,
we said Raw sucks for about 10 minutes. That's about right.
I mean, there's nothing to say after this statement. SCU broke.
Well, Miro is TNT champion, but we don't.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. I
saw a rumor that Mia Yim was supposed to debut last night, and they pulled it at the last minute.
Debut for you mean re-debut? You
mean she was supposed to debut as Mia Yim, not Reckoning, on SmackDown, and they were like, nah, never mind.
Oh, she on SmackDown now?
Yeah.
So I remember that one match she was on Raw against Dana Brooke, and her mask came off.
Yeah. Like, so they were going to bring out Mia Yim as Mia Yim on SmackDown, and at the last second they were like, they didn't cancel it, but they pushed it back
to NXT. Just go back to NXT.
And Mia Yim on SmackDown to scream someone who's never going to win the championship.
No. She's gonna be in the shuffle. Like,
but her hair is blue, and that matches SmackDown. So
yeah, but then you got Sasha, who does that. So, oh no, she's green now. I forgot. She's like, she's on
blue
that other
green.
tip. Yeah, she on that blue green. I don't know.
Yeah, let's do this.
Wrestling is fucking.
That shit look like an adios.
Wrestling. Hey, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say this every week.
Yeah, yes, you do though.
I'm gonna say this every fucking week. Wrestling fucking sucks.
I mean, I need something else. Maybe we just need to let's all just put in some money for some lottery tickets, or maybe if we all just dominate. We got to separate them and dominate all of the Young Baca 2000 contests. Get some money up.
I'm down. And
then just start our own shit, man. Because this is it's getting difficult to not be biased. It's like. But what are the 6 matches on the card, man?
All right, so let's start with
I know 2 out of 4 or 2 out of 6 on this one.
Let's start. Do you want to go main event down, or do you want to start from what do you think is going to be the fucking worst match on the card?
Start at the bottom and work our way up.
Yeah.
I think bottom up would be the Dirty Dogs versus Rey Mysterio and Dominic.
Oh God, I don't even give a fuck about this.
That's a trash name.
This is the match though that's probably going to determine our predictions.
No. Because I know that people want to see them the Mysterios as champs, but is it too early? I don't know. They've only defended it once. Yeah, I think
I don't know.
Dirty Dog, because Dirty Dogs. I mean, it's weird because like Bobby Roode was in a tag team with the Austin Aries back in the day in TNA, and they were the Dirty Heels. And what they would do is they would like, I mean, I was like, oh, y'all the Dirty Heels, like straight up like that. But then they would walk to the ring and they would like wipe their heels off on the apron. I'm like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. But then now he got a tag team with Dolph Ziggler. He's the Dirty Dogs. I'm like,
first of all,
I
just want to make it clear that I don't think Dolph Ziggler ever said that Hulk Hogan's apology was okay. I'm just saying that he was on Fox News a few times in the last several years. So
yeah,
I think of the same thing. I think of what was his name?
Brodus.
Brodus.
Brodus Clay.
Brodus Clay. He's on Fox News, so I'm assuming he's racist too.
Probably.
So
I mean, is he not like a little black? No,
he don't count it.
I mean, the way he wears his hat backwards, I think that's just where it's just kept underneath that hat. I think it's just it's all right there.
Fox News pays the checks, so
no,
I to be honest, that you want me to be.
To be honest, I mean, when Vince McMahon has to teach you rhythm, I think there's a problem, right? I mean, so but yeah, so this tag match,
I'm gonna go with the Mysterios.
I knew you were, because I know you've been wanting to see this for some time.
I've been wanting to see this. Should have happened 3 months ago, just because you know what? I'm looking forward to the Mysterios winning because I'm gonna probably get sick of them having the titles and I want them to lose soon. I just want to get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Probably just based on everything that's on here. I'm gonna say 1 point.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the Dirty Dogs for 1 point. I'll do the Dirty Dogs for 2. No, I'll do 1 point. That's fine.
1. All right, Mac.
Give me the Mysterios for 2.
Okay.
Mysterio. He coming for the title. Oh, you said 1 as well, right, Brian?
Yeah, I said 1. All right, then it would probably go with Damian Priest versus The Miz in a lumberjack match.
This is the dumbest shit. Oh my god, like
Miz about to lose another lumberjack match.
Bro, this is why this is dumb. Like Damian Priest had that match to determine the stipulation, and then he comes in, he rushes right in and was like, yeah, Johnny Mundo is always getting in my shit, so I need to keep him out. So I'm gonna do what's best, and I'm gonna get a lumberjack match. I'm like, really? That's how you keep him out? And then
He's still gonna be outside.
And then the very next night, fucking Bronson Reed. Oh, I'm sick of Austin Theory, and I got to keep him out. So we're going steel cage. I'm like, y'all could. It's the same thing. I don't understand. I don't want to go first. You guys go first. This makes my brain hurt. Fucking wrestling.
Mundo is gonna cause Miz to lose because there's some dissension on the team.
He got the better verse. That's why. He's mad he ain't getting the features.
He also got the same hairstyle that the girls in high school wore in 2006.
Yo,
but,
you're not lying. You really are, but you know.
I'm gonna go Priest. Give me. I want to put a high number on Priest because I'm pretty sure about this. Give me 3 on Priest.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Priest as well. I'm gonna go 2 for Priest.
Okay. I have 3 on Priest too. I just read them all right now, and I gave Priest 3 points.
What's that? So, what other championship? I don't even know what the fuck they got. What is going on? 4 more matches.
Okay, so the next match, which I think they're all title matches at this point. If we're going based on things that matter, I'm gonna say Rhea Ripley versus Asuka versus Charlotte Flair.
Oh shit! I don't even remember that was a thing.
Oh,
I have Rhea Ripley for 2 points.
Yeah, I think I might be. I don't see her dropping it too early, but it is Charlotte, so I don't know, man.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
And
I'm not
Charlotte
really
was supposed to originally, Charlotte was supposed to be in the Mania match.
And when you think about it, like, you know, you got Sonya Deville itching to get in the ring, so she's probably gonna screw somebody with like I don't know, a judo throw or some. I don't fucking know. What is? I don't know what is going on between her and Adam Pearce. He needs to get his balls, man. He's over here.
Can we just since we're talking about it, Sonya? Nobody should be called drip on TV except Sonya. She's the only one who actually drips from week to week. She makes Adam Pearce look like
I got a strong contender for that one as well. I gotta say Almas be putting it down though.
Oh yeah, he'd be clean.
I was gonna say I don't think you'd be mad at that one because he.
But Sonya's standing next to Pearce. Pearce suits. He looked like he just like looked at it on the hanger and was like,
"This will work."
Yep.
He's like, "It's Monday." Yep. It's a Monday suit.
Try it on.
Yep.
Give me 1 on Charlotte.
You already have Mysterious for 1, so do you want to do?
No. He has Mysterious for 2.
I had 2.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, he has Mysterious.
I went above you. I priced as right as you.
Yeah. I'll take one. I'll do 2000. I'll do 2001. You mother. Cool. See, that's the thing. I'm up in the air now. I was thinking Rhea, but it's Charlotte.
It's not going to be Asuka.
It's Charlotte, bro.
Nah.
Asuka needs a break. Asuka needs a vacation.
Yeah, she do. She over here dancing with freaking Lana and Naomi. I'm like, oh, is that where they gonna relegate y'all to that? I'm like,
she's been paired with every like loser on the roster.
Dana. Looking at you, Dana. Mandy.
She always gets like second pick when she's doing pickup games or
every time. And she's like, fuck.
Yeah, she's like always. If they fighting for Asuka.
She needs a vacation.
You had her last time.
She needs to go home and bring Kyrie back.
I'm gonna go Rhea Ripley for is it too late to change my points?
No, and I was gonna say, by the way, the rest of the matches are probably a little bit more predictable.
I was gonna I'm gonna do Rhea Ripley for 2, and then if you could switch my Damian Priest to 3.
Got it. That's fine.
That's all I got. Oh yeah, we got both of these championships on the line. Okay.
All right. So then the next one would be Bianca Belair.
Wait. Who you had Rhea Ripley, or who?
Yeah, Rhea Ripley. I have Rhea Ripley. Really Ripley. Rhea Ripley for 2 points.
2 points. Okay.
Yeah. It was between that and the tag match where I was like, either one. These are the only 2 matches that it's kind of up in the air a little bit, but
yeah.
Was
and maybe, and I was thinking, and I put Priest as a low number because there is a decent chance that like Miz bullshits his way to a win because he's lost every time he's gone against Priest. So
that's true.
But I doubt it's gonna happen. Yeah. So Belair versus Bayley. I have Belair for 6 points.
Let me see.
I feel like that's probably the most guaranteed win out of the next couple.
I don't know, man. I mean, you know,
What's the other 2? Bobby and
Bob.
It's
Bobby
the Bobby
and
triple
Roman.
threat and Roman versus Cesaro. The
I'm
only
go-
reason,
I'm-
like,
I'm gonna do
Roman-
Bianca for
I-
4.
Okay.
And I mean, I think I know my next 2 choices are pretty fair.
Give me Bianca for 6.
Oh man. Okay, wait. How much did you said Bianca for 6 as well, didn't you, Brian? Or am
Yeah. Yeah, I did. The only reason is like Roman Reigns would probably have 6, but there's the Jimmy Uso element that you just never know. But it's probably Roman Reigns.
Everyone's been giving Bobby shit. They're like, man, how come you're not getting? Are you ever going to be a main event as WWE? Because every time he has a pay-per-view, it's like Roman being the main event.
Well, let's be honest.
Well, Roman's earned it. So.
Yeah, let's be honest.
No, dude, like, I mean, it sounds like super dumb because I was thinking about the concept of like the slammies, and I'm like, it's not really, it's just real super gimmick, but I'm like, it'd be really cool if, and it may be exposing too much of the business, I guess, but I mean, what hasn't been exposed at this point is like, what if they actually had like some sort of like, yo, best feud or like best performance in a feud type, like, bro, like, this is Roman's best work, bro.
Mhm.
This is wrong. I mean, like, I would give him an award for this shit. Is basically how I'm feeling. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, they should have awards for that kind of shit. But I'm
this
like,
2020 to 2021 Roman is gonna be what they highlight when he goes in the Hall of Fame.
100%.
So far.
Oh
Yeah.
You don't think it's
So-
going to be him winning the Royal Rumble and everyone?
Nah.
So wait, Brian, you said you're going for Braun Strowman all in. That's what you said.
Fuck no. I have Lashley for 4 points. I have Lashley for 4 points.
I got Lashley for 5 points.
What I got left for 4 and a 5?
Yeah.
Put the 4 on. Put the 4 on Lashley.
The only thing is, I feel like Lashley was really good or really hot, but then they broke up the Hurt Business, and then Raw just sucks in general.
Yeah.
And I do feel like when Raw begins to suck, Vince sometimes panics and like changes champions. I don't see that happening here though, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see that in the next month or two, where he's just like, "Fuck it, fuck the Lashley Lesnar idea. We're just gonna do something else."
I'm gonna do Roman Reigns for 6.
Okay, I'm gonna do Roman for 5.
Same. 5. Only thing I got left. 5 on Roman.
All right, so the matches that matter would probably be the Mysterios match and the women's match.
Yeah, because I was looking at that, I was like, it's interesting. The only difference maker is the fact that Mac bet a point over you on the Mysterios, because I was like, with our luck, the Mysterios win, and so you guys get that one, and then like Rhea Ripley wins, and then so me and you get that one, and then it's like, I was like, it's gonna be a 3-way tie because everyone bet the, it's the same amount of points, just different. You know what I mean? It's all the same choices.
Well,
so I was like,
you have champions advantage. So if Baca gets his shit in by tomorrow, maybe we'll allow it.
Well, what time did you say he was on from 5 a.m. to what?
Like 1 p.m. He should be almost done. So maybe he'll do it this evening.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what's up. I mean, he barely downloads it the audio when he needs to. On time. I'm like, yo, dude,
Right.
I got a notification saying that it hasn't been downloaded yet. You may want to get.
I've never seen someone so busy who doesn't do anything.
No, dude, I saw him like he was I think he was on a hike at like 6 a.m. I'm like, where are you, bro? I'm like, how'd you even get out there? I'm like, what is going on?
Hey man, just because you go to Venice Beach every Sunday doesn't mean you can't look at your phone for a couple minutes.
Yeah, sure. He just went to the highest peak where it was just like, no, I need a better atmosphere. I don't know why I try to give him the vibe.
He's just venting over there. He's like, yeah, man, Mark Henry sucked, right?
You agree? He's like, hey, am I tripping? Am I tripping right now? Fucking no, he's the one that said that. He's like, yeah. So that's gonna be the name of the episode. I'm like, cool. I ain't got to think of it. It's like that's just what it is. I guess we'll see if Baca comes through, man. I'll send him a message about it right now, and then we could figure it out. I got work Sunday, so You know, I no spoilers, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
I'm on vacation.
You're probably not. You're not gonna be missing anything. So
yeah, no, I mean, the only matches that I remembered were only two that I was interested in. And that was both the world title matches. So, and not because Braun Strowman's in any of them. It's just
I forgot. I just picked Lashley. I didn't even remember who was in the match.
who's it? Gangrel? Was it Gangrel Midian? I don't even remember, man.
The dark timeline is that Drew McIntyre moves on to something else, and it's Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley for 3 months.
I hope so.
I hope so.
You know what? Before we get out of here, I did want to throw a fantasy booking that I did with my brother a couple days ago. But this is from a free agent standpoint. That's kind of like this. I mean, you have to put up some major bread, and they would have a stranglehold on some stuff. At least I believe. You know, there's the talk about Daniel Bryan. I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's going to resign, but I mean, in case he doesn't, because you know we did hear about these rumors about Ring of Honor and stuff like that. Also, the fact that he obviously has his own goals that he wants to kind of still be able to fulfill before he hangs it up. He doesn't know how long his body has. You know what I mean? It's unprecedented what he's been able to do, you know. But I was like, dude, the fact that him, CM Punk, and Samoa Joe are all free agents right now, I'm like, what if they were like clicked up on some like 3-man free agent shit where it's like they had the game in a chokehold? Like people like they would really have. I mean, because the way I thought about it is, you got Samoa Joe, who he's been wanting to get cleared to wrestle. He could probably get cleared to wrestle, I'm sure, because WWE's doctors aren't the doctors that you know, cleared Edge or freaking Daniel Bryan. You know what I mean? So, you know, these are the guys that let you wrestle a Royal Rumble with a massive staph infection, you know, but we're not going to get sued here. We're not going to bring up old stuff. But, you know, you think about Samoa Joe, who's obviously been frustrated. I think this would be a good look for him. I mean, Daniel Bryan, he obviously, again, he has some other things he wants to do. I mean, this would obviously give him the leverage to be able to do so. And with CM Punk, the biggest thing he said as far as coming back to wrestling is like, it has to be something that's going to be interesting or actually cool, like the storyline. And I'm like, that kind of checks a lot of those boxes if you got all three of those guys together. I don't know where they would go, but you know.
So you're saying to a promotion, or they just independently go from place to place and just, I guess, wreak havoc or whatever.
Yeah, I guess more. I mean, it's just one of those things. I was like, that's kind of a crazy powerhouse. I mean, because I was like, the last time there's been people who had their contracts up at the same time with that caliber of talent was the Elite when they were rumored to go to the WWE. I mean, like the fact that it's like, it's so lined up right now where you got Samoa Joe, CM Punk, and Daniel Bryan, like three dudes that are like from that era of guys. Like, to me, that's crazy. And I was just thinking about the possibilities and
like all the Ring of Honor stuff.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I didn't want to necessarily chain him down to Ring of Honor, but I was like, I could see him just wrecking havoc, like you said, like just wrecking shit. You know what I mean? I don't know.
It would be actually really cool too for especially for him to probably get physically back in shape too and not rush him.
Yeah.
CM Punk was more of the mouthpiece to that idea.
Yeah.
And then eventually he's like the final boss, you know, maybe like when someone finally wants to challenge them and succeed in any way, they eventually would lead to a match with CM Punk after, you know, maybe dealing with Daniel Bryan and Samoa Joe or something, you know, like saves CM Punk's match, but he's still there. He's still with them, you know, like, it would be really cool if it was like, remember when the Undisputed Era debuted and it was Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, and then all of a sudden Adam Cole comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It would be similar to that, like Samoa Joe and Daniel Bryan go run in, beat the shit out of somebody, and then CM Punk is the one who walks slowest and like blah blah blah, cuts awesome promo. And then the cool part about it, you see him do it in a different promotion the week after.
Yeah,
like
because they would have no allegiance, or you know what I mean, no exclusive contract.
Like I want to do it in AEW first. AEW would kind of make it where like they would want it exclusive. Obviously, they would probably have the money to do so, but obviously it's not all about money. But the one thing I'm already thinking of, I was like, if they did that, I already know the name's gonna be fire because you got CM Punk who's embroidered with freaking comic books, and you got Samoa Joe who's like, he got that flavor, you know what I mean? Like he
he rapping for a couple folks. So it's like I feel like if they were to do something like that, it'd be kind of dope. But what do you think, Mac? I mean,
their stable name would be Neglected.
I mean, because I know you ain't got no love lost for Mr. Punk.
Only because I missed that era. That same era that was that had John Cena rapping every week and throwing pinkies up. I was in high school getting involved in other things, and I kind of like fell off for like half a decade. But
yeah.
CM Punk was. I remember seeing him on TV and being like, "Oh, that's the champion now." That doesn't make sense. And changing the
Hey, no, I mean, it's funny because I think everyone went through that around that time. For me, it wasn't him, it was JBL. JBL was champ on SmackDown, and because I was still a mark, dude. I was just like, not that it was real, but I just like, I wasn't at the state where I was able to appreciate the performance of the heel yet, like I can now. I was just like, yo, this dude is just pompous ass. Like when they ran that whole angle where he was like in Texas, like running off people at the freaking like border for real. I was like, what are we doing?
Hey man, he
I'm
worked
like,
you.
This is wrestling. I'm like,
he worked you,
dude. Yeah, he did. But did he? Because I ain't gonna lie, I was like,
that was who that was.
Yeah. I was like, is this you turned up to 12 like they say? You know what I mean? Like, I can't unsee this now. I don't know. But yeah, man. Yeah, but that's all.
I always thought it was super interesting in hindsight that you had this super ultra conservative basically champion and his right hand man was this bisexual
was it
Orlando Jordan or Orlando
Jordan,
right?
Yeah.
And like I was like, that's pretty intriguing. I don't know if like I don't remember the era too much either. I don't know if they promoted that in any way. Or...
No, I was gonna say I don't think that he was out then. I don't think he was out then because it wasn't. I don't remember him really using that whole thing until like Impact. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But
like,
I mean, like,
I remember I watched very little of that era as well.
Because what Billy and Chuck at the same time, they would have definitely, you know what I mean, promoted that. I think. You know
that's true.
Because they were like, well, we'll just get two guys that are straight as hell and just do it. Like, little do they know, under their noses. You know what I mean? But,
the whole time.
The whole time. Fucking name, man. Hey, I appreciate y'all, man. Definitely for getting together. Hopefully we'll be able to see if Baca got any votes or predictions. If not, we can hopefully all get together, freaking get the Flow Horsemen together in full, you know what I mean? Full spectrum, as they say, with all four of us, and then we could all tell Baca to shut the fuck up together. So, I ain't got to bear the burden on my own. No. But
it does feel good. Like, it does feel good.
It was a lot. It was a lot of pressure. But now I wanted to say thank you guys for always tuning in every week. We're on YouTube, man. And of course, we're on the Young Baca Productions podcast network. And feel free to follow us as the Flow Wrestling Pod and Flow Wrestling Show on Instagram. This has been the Flow Show, man. For the love of wrestling, Mac Lowe, Brian Andrew, and your boy, Kwency Jones. Go. We out.